Assemble! Stay dandy, baby. A war is brewing in the My Hero Academia universe, and it's only a matter of time before we see if Deku, Katsuki Bakugo, and Shoto Todoroki are going to be prepared for it. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another review of the My Hero Academia anime series. Before we begin this review, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you're liking it, go ahead, Delaware, Detroit, smash that like button right now. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to go plus ultra, make sure to check out my Patreon and become a patron. Make that monthly donation. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choosing. But let's go ahead and jump into this double batch of episodes of My Hero Academia. That's right, I'm talking about 2 episodes today. Apparently, the series is going to be on break, so this is sort of like the perfect opportunity for me to catch up on these 2 episodes that I missed. The last episode I saw was basically the Christmas special from My Hero Academia. Didn't really excite me all that much, but these episodes right here are where things are really starting to get interesting. There are some massive developments which are getting ready to happen. The biggest of which is that Deku, Katsuki Bakugo, and Shoto Todoroki are going to be joining Endeavor in his agency in order to learn to be proper heroes, to learn what their strengths and weaknesses are. Not to mention we have this whole other subplot with Hawks, who is investigating the League of Villains, and apparently this other group which is known as the Liberation Army, and they're led by a mysterious leader who would be mysterious if they didn't show him in the brand new intro, some dude with a really long schnoz. But the fact of the matter is the League of Villains is preparing some sort of like massive invasion or war, and I'm guessing that's what was teased at the beginning of that Christmas episode with Tomura Shigaraki standing in that city which was completely destroyed. I don't know what all of this stuff means or what it is, but the fact of the matter is Hawks has been investigating these guys for a while, and he's getting really deep into their organization. We really get to see most of that in the most recent episode of the series, where he seems to meet with a lot of the higher-ups that we haven't seen in quite some time, such as Twice and Himiko Toga and even Spinner, the Lizard Man. And they're also joined with this other brand new character who, like I said, they're keeping him mysterious and in the shadows, but they show him in the brand new intro, the guy with the really big nose, and I'm guessing he's a part of this Liberation Army. I'm guessing this group, which is working together with the League of Villains to do some really big, crazy shit. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be some sort of massive war or invasion, and they're going to attack. And Hawks has been investigating this, and he knows that he can't outright say anything quite yet because he could get in trouble. So he decides to have these like hidden coded messages in a manual in a book that he decides to give into Endeavor, who is able to decipher what the message means inside, which is saying that this massive invasion is going to be happening soon, and that means he's really going to have to get these young heroes prepped before this like massive war is actually going to kick off. And that's where a lot of the most recent episode of the series come into place, as Deku and Shoto and Katsuki decide to join Endeavor's agency, which is really a lot of fun because, again, it shows how far Endeavor has come as a character, how before he was basically just the biggest asshole ever, just the giant cockbag you hated every single time that he was on screen. But now that he's the #1 hero and he has to take up the ideals of All Might and make them his very own, it really shows that he's trying to become a more proper hero, especially in terms of teaching these younger heroes. So most of these episodes are just sort of him showing him around the agency and all of the people that work with him, all the sidekicks, some of which have some really great designs. This one crazy girl in particular, who I believe is called Burning, she has this like weird green fiery hair and like a Katsuki Bakugo styled kind of like personality, kind of a combination of that and Tetsu. She's just crazy, loud, and awesome. But the fact of the matter is, basically, Deku and his friends are going to be thrown through the school of hard knocks as they learn to become proper heroes. They do have one moment where they team up with Endeavor and they stop this one sort of like preaching villain who's talking about the end is nigh and everything's going to like go to hell. He's this really cool villain who actually has the ability to control glass. He can like liquefy it and weaponize it in a number of cool ways. And basically, he's like prophesizing that really bad things are going to happen and that Endeavor is going to be connected to all of this. I'm be inclined to believe the freaky-ass dude, but we don't get to spend a lot of time with him. It really is more of a lead-up to the next episode of the series, where we get to see Deku and all of his friends actually training with Endeavor, who decides to throw them through the ringer, basically giving them this mission where by the end of the winter, they're going to have to try and one-up him by trying to catch a villain before he can do it himself. And basically, he's there to sort of like work on the things that they can or cannot do. And I really like that they spend the time with each character in terms of what they're actually going to be capable capable of, with Deku having to learn to focus on one of his main abilities, mastering it, so that he can move on to learn how to do some parallel learning or multitasking, where he's got to sort of subconsciously know how to use his abilities without thinking about it too much and without worrying about destroying his very own body. With Katsuki Bakugo and Shoto, things are a little different. They have to learn about what they can't do in order to become a little bit stronger, with Endeavor knowing that Shoto is basically still trying to utilize his flash fire technique and trying to be a lot more like him, and then Katsuki Bakugo as well. Again, just learning what he can't do. That's sort of like integral to his character. But there's a lot of great moments of them chasing around villains in the episode and sort of like building up the fact that we're getting ready to move into some really crazy territory before this big old war begins. But it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer before we get there, because it looks like the next episode is going to be reintroducing that character of Selkie, who is technically a filler character to my knowledge. Again, I do not read the manga version, but I remember when I reviewed that episode about the Seal Man and the Mermaid Girl that they were indeed filler type characters. But I couldn't even tell last time, so I am kind of excited to see them again. But at the same time, it's so obvious that they're trying to, give us a little bit of a break before we move to all this more intense material involving the League of Villains. And I really hope we can get there very soon. Because while I am enjoying this season, man, I'm starving for the next major part of the series, which is going to have some major story implications. And they're certainly taking their time getting there. But again, if there's one thing that My Hero Academia does really well, it's its characterization, and there's definitely some good moments here, and some pretty solid action moments as well. So there's a lot to love about these batch of episodes. So what's the rundown on these episodes of My Hero Academia? That's really all I have to say about the episodes, and I know I'm kind of in a rush in this review, but that's basically my thoughts on these episodes. It's just sort of like building up to this next major confrontation, and I do feel that they're taking a little long in actually getting there, especially because now we're going to have to go through a whole episode with Selkie and everything. It is cool that we're going to spend some time with some seldom used characters and some side characters, but damn it, I'm ready for the next part of the story, especially with the intro, which is showing all of these brand new villainous characters. I can't wait to see what they're all going to be about. There's so much promise for the next arc of the series. I've been told by manga readers, too, that the next arc of the series is going to go into some surprisingly dark territory, so I want to see that happen as well. The fact of the matter is, we're smack dab in another training arc right now, which isn't necessarily bad or anything, but I'm tired of the training. I want to take the kid gloves off, and I want to get into some major confrontation. That being said, there are still a lot of great things to enjoy about both of these episodes, with the actual characters themselves, some solid action moments, and of course more build up for the villains. There's a lot of things to truly enjoy about these episodes, but for me personally, I'm just ready to move on to the next thing. And that did sort of bring down my excitement for some of these episodes right here, but I'm still going to give them 4 out of 5. I still thought that they were really solid material. But I really want to hear from you guys. You heard my thoughts about these episodes, and I'd love to hear yours, so sound off in the comment section below, telling me what you thought about all these episodes, the training that Deku and his friends are going through with Endeavor and his agency, and what you're hoping to see from this big League of Villains Liberation Army war that's going to happen, your hopes, your dreams, and if you're a manga reader, try to keep spoilers to a minimum, or at least give some sort of like warning. I don't want to be spoiled too much about these events, but there it is. Let's just talk about these episodes. Comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.